Hey guys, it's Joe from eattheplanet.org. It's February here in southern New England. I put together another winter foraging video for you. I think one plant overlaps from the last one, but I'll put a link to my last winter foraging video in the description anyway. So most of this is mugwort, and I'm going to show you some identification features that you can use in the winter. First of all, in the winter, the seed tops are on mugwort, so you'll notice all the seed tops at the top of the vegetation. The good thing about finding mugwort in the winter is that a lot of the plants will hold on to the leaves, and they're already dried. A lot of uses for mugwort use dried leaves. So in the winter, you can just run your hand up the plant and you can forage for the dried leaves of mugwort. I actually found edible greenbrier berries. It's in February right now. I didn't know if they would hold on for this long, but they have. There's quite a few on the plant here. One way to identify greenbrier is that their stems are bright green in the winter, and they have these thorns that come off at about 90 degrees to the stem. I found a fallen pine branch, and I wanted to show you something. It's one of the best winter wild edibles that you can find. And that is right here, the immature pine cones. The biggest problem is they're hard to reach. They're way up in the tree. White pine can get over 100 feet tall. So if a branch falls, like this one, then you'll have access to them. Or if you're taking a tree down, then you'll have access to them. Otherwise, or maybe if it's a small tree. Otherwise, it's difficult to find them. But in the winter, I'm going to pull this one apart and show you the inside here. So the inside's green, and the taste isn't too bad. The texture is not too hard, and the taste is not too bad. It's one of the best winter wild edibles. It's got like a hint of a sweet taste. Oh, keep in mind this is a white pine, but this can also, you can also eat the immature pine cones on spruce, almost any other kind of pine, and fir. I found this white pine that fell over, so I can take the opportunity to show you about the edible inner bark. White pine is one of the best woods for edible inner bark. I'll show you why. So the thing with the edible inner bark is you got to get a piece that's lower on the trunk. So you're going to be damaging the tree. The reason I was excited to find this down branch is because obviously I'm not damaging the tree. This branch just fell yesterday probably. And it's going to be dying anyway. So I can take as much of the bark as I want to. So it looks like this is cut into the wood here, but that's not actually the wood of the tree. Right here, you can see I peeled this part back. This is the inner bark, and it's pretty thick. So this is the inner bark that you can just peel off and eat. I have a winter wild edible here that you're not likely to see other places. It's not really what you think of when you think of a wild edible, but it's definitely the best tasting winter wild edible that you can find. So right behind me I have a Norway maple, and when the weather's right, you'll get an icicle from a wound in the tree. Right there you can see it, and that icicle tastes like maple syrup. It's got a hint of maple syrup flavor. So I mean, if you want, you can even, if you got a maple in the yard, I've tested it for Norway and sugar maple, and probably work for red maple too. You can cut it when you know that the weather's about right. It's got to be around freezing. It's got to be, the sap's got to be flowing enough to flow out of the wound, and then it's got to freeze. So it's got to be cold enough that it freezes at night. But if you can get that weather right, you can definitely get a flavorful icicle. Thanks for watching. If you learned anything, please like and subscribe, and also put any questions or comments in the comments, and I will try to respond.